I moved into the second floor apartment of a quirky old house 2 summers ago, right after my messy divorce and a handful of lonely months with my parents. It wasn't across the country, just across town, but to me, it felt like a reboot. The house was almost communal, 3 flats linked by a creaky old back stairwell. Out back, a yard that became everyone's hangout when the weather was nice. My two roommates were college friends, and almost immediately, our place became the spot. Barbecues, board game nights, potluck dinners that went way too late. One evening, our downstairs neighbor showed up. A stunning woman, auburn curls, a laugh so loud you could hear it through the walls. She said her name was Cassie, 25, new to the city, recently single. She told us she'd moved here on a whim and didn't know anyone. I felt this pang of sympathy that had been me, just months earlier. She was charming, funny. She complimented my vintage dress in a way that made me blush. And when she asked if she could hang out with us sometime, I said yes, without hesitation. At first, her attention seeking felt like nerves. She talked endlessly about her ex, called all her guy friends like brothers. She'd show up to our get togethers in tight outfits, flirt with the men, then glance at me with a sly wink. Sometimes she'd slip in a barb disguised as a compliment. You're so lucky you can pull off that outfit. I'd look like a toddler in it. I laughed it off. Didn't want to be petty. We played games, drank cheap wine. She told me she loved how open I was about my divorce, and I convinced myself she just didn't know how to fit in. The first real red flag came during a party game called Sardines. Lights dimmed, music up, everyone hiding. Out of nowhere, someone shoved me hard into a shelf. I yelped. And then Cassie's laugh echoed across the room. Found her first. That's why I pushed you. When the lights came back on, she was beaming. I tried to shrug it off, but the bruise on my shoulder told the real story. A few weeks later, another game, Kings. I drew a card that meant I had to share something personal. I joked that the game was trying to get all my secrets out of me. So I mentioned my divorce again, and Cassie slammed her hand on the table. Girl, we get it. You're divorced. The whole table froze. Heat rose up my neck. Sorry, I muttered. Mark, tall, handsome, the kind of guy who always drew attention, gave her a sharp look and changed the subject. Later, friends quietly checked in on me. Cassie? She never apologized. And from then on, whenever Mark was around, Cassie cranked up the flirting, tossed me little digs at the same time. I kept giving her chances, but my patience was wearing thin. Around then, I was planning something close to my heart, a tattoo. I've loved Studio Ghibli films since I was a kid. Spirited Away was my favorite. Haku, the river spirit who becomes a dragon, he symbolized identity, transformation, remembering who you are, even when life makes you forget. After my divorce, that story felt like mine, so I planned to ink him on my arm. Haku, flowing up to my shoulder, wildflowers woven through his coils to represent growth and the people who supported me. Months of planning, saving, finding the right artist. Finally, I booked it one night at a party. Cassie plopped beside me with a glass of wine. We were actually getting along. She spotted my sketchbook. Show me, she begged. I hesitated, then flipped to the drawing. Her eyes widened. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. I've always wanted a dragon tattoo. What movie is that from again? I told her. Explained the meaning. She asked everything. Cost, pain, timing. I answered. At the end of the night, she hugged me. Said she couldn't wait to see it. The following week, she started sending me Pinterest screenshots. Do you like this one? This would look amazing on you. She asked which shop, which artist. And, stupidly, I told her. My gut twisted, but I brushed it aside. Lots of people get dragon tattoos, right? What were the odds? She'd copy mine? 3 weeks before my appointment, my phone buzzed. Guess who just did something crazy? Cassie, grinning in a tattoo shop mirror, her arm wrapped in plastic. Then another photo came through, and my stomach dropped. It was my dragon, my exact design. Same coils, same flowers, same placement. I sat frozen, called Riley my best friend. She copied it, I whispered. She stole my tattoo. Riley exploded. You've got to be kidding. She hasn't even seen the movie. I wanted to scream at Cassie, but instead I typed, wow, looks amazing. Can't wait to see it in person. Then I hurled my phone across the bed and sobbed. At the next gathering, Cassie arrived in a sleeveless top. She unwrapped the bandage dramatically. Look, isn't it beautiful? Everyone gasped, praised her. I smiled. My face ached from faking it. When someone asked what it meant, she laughed. I don't know. I just think it looks badass. And in that moment, I realized the universe had already taken care of it. I kept my appointment, but I changed the design. My artist added cherry blossoms, waves, Japanese script along Haku's tail. Remember who you are. The process hurt, but it was healing too. When it was done, he was vibrant, unique, mine. Cassie saw it later. What do those characters mean? She asked. I told her. She giggled, admitted she still hadn't seen Spirited Away. We drifted apart after that. No fight, no drama, just distance. She moved out, found more fun people. Online, she still posts her dragon tattoo. Captions like, live wild, love hard. I hope someday she watches the film. As for me, I've learned people will steal your ideas just to wear them like trophies, that not every slight deserves a confrontation. And most importantly, no one can ever steal the meaning behind what's yours. When I look at Haku on my arm, I remember, no matter how many times I'm shoved off course, I can always come back to myself.